SECONDBABY's profile. I guess I'm just too excited right now.
Listen, we got to ride the hype as we see the pre-bans, Peter, and it's going to be Ragdoll and Gianna. No big surprise there.
Yeah, I mean, Gianna, Ragdoll, these are flashy units that most of the time we are feeling much more comfortable with if they are not available. Jack, he's got the first pick priority, and I cannot emphasize how important this is seeming in the meta so far, because there are so many power picks and you can secure one of them so that your opponent cannot get it. And Jack smartly identifies Sierra being a huge part of SECONDBABY's winning strategy.
Yep, and then we're going to see the Cardinal and Lulu, again, two kind of more safe picks that have always been responding. And on the side of Jack, we're going to see yet another monster we haven't seen all day today.
Yeah, I mean, Yunhong is the original combo to the Molong. They do synergize pretty well, so I'm very excited to see this Yunhong combo coming out. As you mentioned, Pontos Diana on the other side, SECONDBABY, once again, going for that trusty Diana pick. It has done a lot of work for him so far. Of course, Jack, the last time when he was faced up against this situation, the Antares bought him so much time in the early game, and now how much will it do this game?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see that Antares is going to be so pesky against that Diana. So we'll see also SECONDBABY. Maybe how does he respond? Does he have something different as Jack going to wrap up his picks?
Yeah, I mean, the Anvil, we've also seen this unit earlier. It is most likely ruined on maximum resistance, and it can get a lot of work done. But the thing is, if you look at Jack's lineup, the only strippers he has are Molong and Yunhong, which are both not very consistent into Pontos, right? And Sierra absolutely relies on no immunity as well as Anvil, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see either a ban on Pontos or Lulu, because letting both through with so little strippers is usually not recommended.
Okay, well, SECONDBABY going to wrap things up with the Wind Monkey King, and Yunhong going to be the ban, and Diana being banned out.
Okay, then, so there is no strip into both Pontos and Lulu. I guess Jack is really trusting in the Molong more than I did.
That seems very, very confident. We'll see if it pays off for him. I mean, we've seen some risk before, but ladies and gentlemen, this is game one of the winners finals between Jack and SECONDBABY.
Holy ground, there's two buffs, but if Molong strips now, what if Lulu cuts in between? Because if we look at the attack bar, that is exactly what Lulu is going to do. But he does it anyways, gets some invincibility off. So now Lulu doesn't really need to do anything here. He's just going to use skill 1, buy some time. Cardinal, he can go for a skill 1 provoke. Not going to connect. Sing Ja, Wind Monkey Wand, no armor break, so the proc will not do much.
Yeah, so neither player really getting everything they want just yet. It's going to be a bit of a slow start here for game one between these two players.
However, the proc does mean the immunity is gone. So now this is finally the chance for Jack to deal with the opponent not having immunity as he thinks about detonating. He obviously should, because if not, Lulu will just cleanse it. And of course, SECONDBABY, so many cleanse, so many immunity. It's just going to come back right up here. Remove plus healed. Being used instead of skill 2 does mean that immunity is not going to be applied. Cardinal has an open field on the other side. Skill 3, this is the skill I love to see. As we wait on the timer, he decides he got the attack bar control. He doesn't need to use it even.
Okay, so just trying to remain ahead in terms of that control. We'll see if that pays off for him in the long run.
Yeah, very smart from SECONDBABY. They're reading into the attack bars really cleverly as we see another resistance from Singja. Now, the Cardinal finally got a skill 3 off, but the Annabelle is not getting debuffed.
Oh man, just nothing really hitting all to the maximum effect that you need.
Stun is connecting on 2 units. That is a huge swing for Jack here, on top of the animal being there. If you're Singja right now, you want to be... he doesn't even know yet. Molong was the one he wanted to stun to avoid the Reckless, but it's going to come out anyways.
And he's going to be able to burn him down all the way down to the last bit of health. Antares is going to finish the job, and Jack now with a numbers advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very surprised to see that Jack, with his Anvil there, just able to cleanse whatever the Cardinal can do, so he can just simply wait out all the immunity from his opponents. And surprisingly, this strategy was so effective.
Yeah, I mean, we were questioning whether it's going to be okay against all this kind of sustained immunity, but Jack pulls it off. and he's going to come in with a strong
pre-bans. Gianna Ragdoll is going to be available. Pontos, of course, such a strong unit. Better to not deal with it when you can.
Yeah, now that he has a choice, obviously you can't repeat your ban, so he says Pontos is out of the pool. On the side of SECONDBABY, it's going to be the Water Art Master going to be banned out. We've seen some contention on that earlier, but no big surprise. SECONDBABY says, well, Gianna's open now, so I'm going to snag her right up as my first pick.
Yeah, I mean, we know Gianna is also a go-to favorite for Jack, so we know why SECONDBABY had to take that first. But of course, when he does that, Jack can now take away the Sierra to block the pair from being formed, as we see Ganya and Okeanos, a more typical response in the direction of a CC coming out of SECONDBABY.
Okay, so maybe things calming down just a little bit. Of course, Jack, we've seen him kind of subvert the expectations before as the drafts move on. He's okay, so just going for that combo as he's shown us before in Game 1's draft.
Yeah, I mean, this combo did get blocked, so to say, by banning out the Yeonhung in the previous game. So I wonder, if you're a SECONDBABY right now, are you really scared of this combo enough that you'll ban it again? Or will he need to switch it around, given that his team comp is much different from any of his previous ones? We've seen, as of recent, a complete focus onto the Nephthys, Gianna, Okeanos, Jogan, and Ganymede. We've seen this from him earlier with Xerath instead, and that was where it didn't work out, right? So if you're SECONDBABY, do you feel confident going in after that loss earlier?
Okay, well, we'll see as Jack has rounded it out with the Water Mermaid for himself as well. Will Jack be able to keep the lead? Now, this is a best of 5, so it's still not over even after this game should Jack win.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting the exact same comp for SECONDBABY that he had earlier when he lost. This was the team comp, but the Okeanos didn't have enough damage follow-up, and the opponent was able to come back, as that is what we are taking a look at once again. Jack with the shield, he's got the Lulu there, he's got the Tetra there, he is trying to survive whatever he can. Jogan with the scroll trap takes out the Tetra so that there is no debuffs getting cleansed. Attack buff also getting connected. Spear of Devastation resets the Lulu this time, so Okeanos being very consistent thus far. Nephthys, of course, is always going to be landing her debuffs. Skill 2, Curse the Beautiful, gets a nice setup, and Jack doesn't proc.
Oh man, SECONDBABY has all the setup he wanted early on in this game too, trying to make a comeback here as he's down 0-1.
Oh, stuns both Water and does such good damage. Things are looking so different for SECONDBABY now than the first round. So the difference is, in the first time that SECONDBABY attempted this, the Rika was there to try to turn it around. But Mo Long is a much weaker solo carry than Rika. So if you're Jack right now, I'm sure he's sitting there not too confident. He needs the armor breaks to stick. That is his only shot.
Yeah, well, it doesn't look like he has too many options. I mean, it's all pretty straightforward. He is going to get the guard break on.
Oh, that proc is going to be able to cleanse the bomb, as you were saying, putting the guard on, right? And he is trying to make full usage out of the armor break. 6,000 into a proc is going to add up to 10,000. The Gianna is down to about 40% HP. Mo Long, if he gets some skills up, he could very well kill her soon.
Yeah, I mean, all eyes on Mo Long right now. Can he make it happen?
There's the armor break landing again, but no proc. And of course, because Mo Long has been reset so many times, he does not have any skills up anytime soon. As Tetra, trying to buy time with whatever sustain, whatever shields that she can. She protects herself. Very smart choice. And now SECONDBABY, as a response, shifts focus onto the Mo Long as the armor breaks come out. There's the Okeanos Rain of Stones, attack buff, armor break, and it's going to do a lot of damage. Not quite enough. Gianna, she's gonna get it.
Yep, should be okay. Going to put the bomb onto the Lulu, and that's just enough of a signal there as we were going to see the finishers come out for second. Of course, now the pre-bans can return from game 1, and they will. The Ragdoll and Gianna being taken out by the same players once again.
Right, so we've seen this in round 1, just as you pointed out. And in the round 1, when these pre-bans were made, it seemed like Jack knew exactly what he was doing and was able to take a victory over SECONDBABY. So now the question is, will the same pattern repeat or will it not? As we see Gany, Oki, Sierra being traded, a lot of CC picks being prioritized early on.
Yeah, so this time remaining with the Oki and Gany rather than trying to go for the Cardinal or the Lulu as he did in round 1. SECONDBABY sticking with what worked in round 2 in that second game that tied him up 1-1 against Jack. What will Jack's response be here? He's running the clock down just a bit.
Yeah, I mean, Jack definitely taking the time to think. As you pointed out, Yeonhung is there for him again. This monster has never gotten to see the light of day. It's been getting banned out every time. But so far, there's no Molong pair, so we do not know what will happen to the draft as of yet. We know Pontos is a very strong combo to Gani Oki. Chongpong just complements those trio even better. So does Jogun. This whole family, we are used to seeing them together.
Yeah, so SECONDBABY sticking with what's been working. Now, Jack, is he going to switch things up? He's considering the Haegang.
Yeah, I mean, Juno definitely an awesome pick into these type of lineups, because if you are the Juno, then you could potentially consider banning out the last pick from SECONDBABY if it poses too much of a threat to Juno. And now the Haegang pick, though, we've seen this pick work out great earlier once when it landed a bunch of stuns, and the other one not so great because there was not enough attack bar gain from Haegang's passive. So the question is, how will that fare off here against the Jogun as Diana, once again, SECONDBABY's go-to pick, gets banned out. Juno gets banned out on the other side. The main threats are out. Yeonhung, this is your time to shine. The first time we are seeing her today.
Yeah, I mean, after all those times that she just gets taken right back out after the draft, Yeonhung is going to make it through, makes her debut here for Group A in the APAC preliminaries of SWC 2021. We are in game number 3 between Jack and SECONDBABY, tied 1-1.
Yeah, so one interesting thing to note is that the resistance leader was what Jack opted for. He did not mind the first turn. He knows he can't grab that. He's trying to play the second turn, getting the strengths out of Lulu and French, which shines at getting the second turn. So now, here we see the Jogun actually not going for skill 3 because he felt like this Haegang would cut in this time. So Okeanos, you gotta reset something. Spear of Devastation connects, not connects onto Sierra. It's getting missed. Means also now Gani can't really do much.
Yeah, so not able to really continue the advantage he had with that first turn.
I mean, at this point, Pontos, he had a chance to put up immunity, but he realized that the Haegang with the strip could make it all useless, so he saved it for the time being. He knows he can take a bomb out of Sierra. As Sierra goes for the one that can cleanse everything, of course, getting some attack bar control. Jogun tried to push it back, but he could not. So Sierra, you get a turn, you go for the detonation, you get a stun, and this Okeanos is just seeming so weak this game.
Yeah, not able to do much. I mean, initially that spear not connecting and that kind of domino starts to fall apart.
Yeah, the proc coming out at a time when he most needed it, because Pontos cleansed the debuffs on himself and Jogun and Gani. There are 3-turn immunity available. Of course, Yeonhung being locked out of the skull trap now. She is able to go for skill 2, gets the invincibility off. It could be good enough as Sierra procs, trying to take out Pontos before the Gani ventilate.
Okay, so Pontos just living on by a sliver.
A sliver indeed, as Jogun trying to grab some more control that he can. Okeanos follows up with a stun, misses onto Lulu and friends. This silence does not land as well. The resistance leader from Yeonhung is kicking in full time. Second skill cleanse is available. Yeonhung gets cleansed. Yeonhung can also boost the attack bar of any unit she so chooses. Gani reset gets landed onto Lulu, but the CC chain is not seeming too strong as the Yeonhung gets resistance again.
Oh, that resistance is paying off so much for Jack as he's able to keep everyone alive and just fight back. The Pontos finally gets taken out by Jack, and a numbers advantage now for Jack against SECONDBABY.
The resistance, man, was everything in this game. Jack knew that SECONDBABY was bringing a team comp that really needed to land their stuff. So if you have a 48% resist leader, that is how players take their time for the pre-bans. Sierra Nephthys on each side.
Okay, so we're going to see a bit of a shift here as we get into game number 4. It's Jack versus SECONDBABY. Jack is leading 2-1 in the winners finals of Group A. You win here, you get to secure a spot moving out of this group towards the APAC Cup. The Gianna being first picked, no big surprise yet again for SECONDBABY. He's able to kind of plug and play any type of comp around that Gianna.
Yeah, I mean, every time that SECONDBABY has gotten Gianna, he has just seemed so strong with it, knowing exactly how to use that monster, knows what to pair it with, as Jack going for a water heavy, a very defensive approach to this Gianna pick.
Okay, so Jack kind of sticking with the high priority monsters of the day, the Molong and Lulu. Of course, still a lot of variation can be coming out. Will we see some of those combos we saw earlier with the Molong? Will the Yunhong continue to make a return on the board here for Jack? Those are the big questions that a lot of us have. As Second Baby, he's going to continue with what has worked so far for him. Okeanos and Ganymede being locked in yet again.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. As you said, Second Baby is returning to the strategy again and again. He feels like CC is his game-winning ticket, whereas Jack, we know that he saved Yunhong all the way till he got to the finals. So will he pick it again is the question. It is not being picked at the moment. Haegang being prioritized along with Cardinal.
Okay, so still not sure the Yunhong just yet. There might be a chance in that last pick. We'll see if Jack's just saving it to make sure he knows exactly what Second Baby is preparing. That Pontos being highlighted for Second Baby. I mean, of course, a very, very strong monster and was able to keep things going for quite some time before finally dying out in that last game.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. You're making some really good analysis on these monsters here as we see Pontos and Chungpong to be the finalized units for Second Baby. These units do complement each other well within the team comp. And Jack, as you said, he is playing a lot of shield, defending. This is actually the first time that we see a Leo being picked.
Yeah, okay. So we've seen some of the other Dragon Knight brothers coming out earlier. Of course, Ragdoll has made many appearances on the ban board right there. But okay, so Leo coming out for Jack. So something different yet again for Jack as these pre-bans have shifted once again in Game 4.
Yeah, and we see the bans coming out. It is getting locked down on Haegang and Gianna. Gianna being banned out does mean there is now a lot less damage on the side of Second Baby. Jack, this could be the match that takes him all the way to the Trophy Cup. And he has Leo, of course, grabbing the first turn with the passive, potentially pushing back Okeanos' glances. But we get to see a bit into the Leo. It is Ruined Unviolent, pushes back the attack bar the second time around as we see Pontos grabbing the sustain, nobility, immunity, invincibility. Ganymede with the reset does mean there's no reckless. Things are looking pretty good for Second Baby.
Yeah, Second Baby just taking it step by step here in the beginning of Game 4 as Lil and Friends will be able to put up her own immunity on the side of Jack.
Yeah, I mean, the one problem, though, is that Second Baby, you got the protection from the invincibility, but you do not have any heals. So how are you going to deal with the combo of healing from Lulu and a very tanky Leo, right? As we see Chungpong barely making a scratch on it.
Yeah, I mean, he literally just kind of brushed over his face with his paintbrush right there, not doing much against him. The silence is coming out, but we're still taking things kind of turn by turn as this might turn into a war of attrition.
Yeah, I mean, everything is very, very tanky right now. Second Baby getting armor broken does mean there's a lot more damage now. Lulu, she can go for a cleanse. She can try to do a little bit of damage with skill 1. The choice is up to Jack as he goes for the heal here, protecting himself, giving the immunity, but of course the proc out of it means Okeanos has an open field. Rain of Stones does not connect onto the Lulu.
Oh man, not able to lock down that Lulu means the sustain still up for Jack.
Yeah, and right now, with the Chungpong control coming in, Pontos can just put up the cleanse again and protect everything. Just one problem that Second Baby seems to be having is he's moved so many turns, but for what? What has he done?
Yeah, he's protecting and he's protecting. Okay.
This is his moment. Armor break is there. Lulu did not have cleanse. Yanni could really use a proc right now. He's going to be able to use Seal Magic, potentially do some decent damage onto armor break here. He seemed to be wanting taking out the Lulu and Friends first, but he goes for the refresh first. Ventilate means Rain of Stones is going to come out. It does not land on Lulu again.
Okay, so while the sounds there, the stun not connecting onto Lulu, just ever so close for that Oki.
Yeah, and the attack bar reduction out of Leo was crucial because it gave Jack a moment where Lulu could have tried to proc out and get some things done. But unfortunately, that did not work out. Ganymede with the Seal of Magic gets some more control over to Second Baby. Chungpong, no proc, means he's got to wait for next turn to do the skills. Same thing for Pontos. This is the most exposed that Second Baby has ever been.
Oh man, this is a dangerous moment for Second Baby. As you've mentioned, Jack, can he take advantage of it?
I mean, Leo, you can't really torrent for ignore defense, so you just got to rely on the extra added bonus damage part of his passive. As we see now, Cardinal, he may Maybe if he proc there, that could have been great, but things did not happen that way for Jack. As we see Pontos, now he does have Holy Grounds up. SECONDBABY is starting to cycle through his cool times again. Okeanos, skill 3 available next turn, as SECONDBABY looking really strong right now.
Yep, he's back in that protected phase, of course, as he cycled through, as you mentioned, Peter. And Jack, can he finish anything off? No, not anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, Jack at this point, he could not make full usage out of the opportunity he had earlier. And at this point, he is trying what he can to also now buy time for himself. As Chungpong, he's got skill 3 available, gets the control down on everything. Now Pontos, he can just go for Holy Grounds, make sure there's nothing happening to his units, keep them all protected. Okeanos, Rain of Stones is there for the damage, for the control, but of course he does not need to control when the silence is there. So he waits a turn, smart move, I love it. As Ganny, skill 3 available next turn, there's the armor break setup. This is what the Okeanos has been waiting for.
Yeah, I mean, we said there wasn't much happening beginning for SECONDBABY, but now that he's seeing the openings, he's playing so calculated.
Rain of Stones, damage is being landed.
And he gets the stuns too.
Yeah, as you said, the stuns coming out is absolutely huge as Seal Magic takes out Lulu and Jack concedes to SECONDBABY.
Last game.
Gianna and Ragdoll.
Yep, there you go. The bans are going to return, and if history repeats itself, Jack has felt pretty comfortable when these pre-bans have come out.
Yeah, the question is, can he do it a third time? You know, there's a saying like, you tricked me once, fine. You tricked me twice, happens. Third does not happen. That's what SECONDBABY needs to utilize here. That phrase exactly, as Sierra being first picked by Jack. That is definitely a strong pick. As we see Carnal, this is a unit that usually prefers to be getting the second turn. As we see Lulu, who also prefers the second turn. A good team comp analysis by SECONDBABY here.
Yeah, SECONDBABY returning to a similar opening for the draft as he did in round 1, but he's gonna have to switch some things up because round 1 did not go his way. So we'll see what he has prepared. I mean, we've seen this player all day today really adapt. Okay, the Yeonhong and Molong being locked in once again for Jack.
Yeah, I mean, this combo, we've seen SECONDBABY put so much respect on it throughout the drafts. He definitely doesn't like dealing with it as he brings in Pontos, a unit that has been so good for him, providing him with a lot of silence utility, a lot of protection. Diana there does mean, of course, Jack. This guy loves his Entourage.
Yeah, and this is looking exactly as it did in game number 1 when he started with the lead 1-0 against SECONDBABY. I mean, all that we're missing here is that Annabelle. It's going to be locked in, so it's the same exact picks for Jack. Yeah, we'll see if SECONDBABY, does he have something different? Until now, it's a exact mirror of round 1.
Yeah, just as you said, SECONDBABY, because he knows how it went on round 1, we would think, does he want to switch it up as he locks in Erika?
Okay, so now the bans, do they repeat as well? I mean, that Yeonhong initially was being taken out, but it wasn't enough to keep Jack at bay. We'll see what SECONDBABY decides here.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure is so high for both of these players. This win is going to decide it all. If they lose here, they're going to have to wait until tomorrow.
True.
So things are definitely on the highest pressure possible as we see Molong Yeonhong combo being let through and Carnal being taken out. Rika is there. This is a match of so many units that have the spotlights on them. Many units can carry as Yeonhong grabs the first turn. She's got skill 2, skill 3. So many ways to boost the attack bar of a teammate as he goes for the charge vitality. Molong, he's got reckless assault, he's got dragon stance, he goes for the reckless, gets it onto Rika, 23,000. Yeonhong's gonna follow it up with the skill 2. He wants to be landing the strip.
Oh, not able to get it, just all that damage, but not able to secure it.
Yeah, that no strip was so big because had the strip landed, the attack bar would have got increased and Sierra could have tried to finish her off. But now, at this point, there's too much protection on the side of SECONDBABY. Rika has an open field, goes for Toy Knight first, lands 2 stuns. Sierra procs are actually worthless at this point.
Yeah, I mean, again, that we saw the power of that protection in that last game, and it's happening once again. I mean, you just have to wait this out.
Gonna try to stun, and he gets the stun. Now, the Entourage does move, but the invincibility is going to protect Rika, allow her to get off that skill 3 before she could potentially die. In fact, there's even a remove heal from Lulu.
I mean, this is just complete control by SECONDBABY as we just see everything being locked down against Jack.
Yeah, I mean, the Sierra's trying so hard for Jack. Like, come on, Jack, I want you to win this. But Sierra procs are just useless up into the Pontos. As we see Diana probably not going to transform. That is way too greedy. Yeonhong, she cannot get skill 3 off anytime soon. Rika goes for the sleep, gets a stun instead. Pontos with the holy ground again.
I mean, we saw it. This is again happening. I mean, that Pontos are just keeping everyone so safe, and then there's the Lulu still. So like you mentioned, Jack is getting these turns where he's trying to put down some damage, but it's doing nothing. The Mo Long not doing anything, the Sierra neither.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's just so much things going for the side of
Oh my gosh.
SECONDBABY as he takes the win of day 1 of SWC.